Let me record now. So the agenda for today's meeting is actually for this session is actually SAP project structuring that we discussed in the previous session. On top of it, we are going to add the validation so that the project structure will remain uh, remain valid for as per the organization requirement, so that if the user is trying to enter a different naming convention, then the system won't allow it, so that validations will work and it will trigger a SMS message, sorry, it will trigger a message for the user to enter a proper project structure. So that is the key purpose. Like for example, I can correlate with the real time example, like you have a Gmail user ID and password. Now whenever you give the user ID, I assume that you have set it one password. The password, if you enter wrong, what the system will tell, the entered password is wrong. Similarly, here also, while creating the project structure, for example, they have to enter the first four characters as INDH. We know that already using the project length, we are validating that first four characters. We are already validating using the coding mask maintain special characters. But on top of it, I want to write some validations to validate at the WBS level also. Like first four characters must be INDH if the project profile is INDH, for example. Now the system will throw, if I am trying to enter, for example, instead of INDH, I am trying to enter INDT, for example. The system will throw that you need to enter 1 to 4 characters as INDH only, for example. Okay. Or I can also validate in a different fashion. If my project definition I created with INDH -25 all zeros one, hyphen triple zero four zeros one, then the project first level WBS must be same as the project definition, or first 14 characters, whatever the length that comes for the project definition, those characters should remain throughout the project structure. You should not change that initial project definition length throughout the WBS structure as well. Like that, we need to validate. That is the key purpose. Just like our Gmail user ID and password, any of them, if any one of them are wrong, then it will throw an error saying that either the username is not available or the password is not correct, like that. Similarly, here also in SAP PS, we will do the validations for project structuring. Okay. So that is the key thing that we are trying to do. We I will explain in this session how to achieve that, all those things. Maybe the practical thing, maybe in the next class we will see this. Okay, so we will be discussing about, according to our project structure, what is validation, and then what is the structure that we created, and what are the different validations that we are going to apply for the structure that we created. Okay, so as discussed in the previous session, this is the project definition and the WBS element structure that we created in the system. Okay, and we have seen in the report also just now. Okay, in the report also we have seen whatever the structure that we created. So according to this project structure, if for example, if the user is trying to enter a different naming convention, then the system should throw the error. For example, I created one project with 0001. He may create the new user, or for the next estimation, the user can create 0002. But if he is creating the project, if he is creating the project for independent out, the first four characters must be INDH only, and he must also select the project profile as INDH only. If he is trying to select different project profile, and if he is trying to create with the project ID INDH, system should throw an error message, and you should not allow him to save the project, so that the user can correct, and again he will try to enter INDH only. Okay, for that purpose, we have to check some prerequisites, and we have to apply some conditions, and we have to throw a message to the user whenever user enters, or whenever the validations apply properly, and if the condition meets, then it will throw a message. That is the key purpose of this validation. Okay, that is the key purpose of this validation. So as of now, we will try to apply only at the project definition and WBS level only. Okay. So what is next thing is define validation. In SAP, validation is the process of checking data entered into the system. Just like the example that I told, whenever you are entering the Gmail user ID correct and the password is wrong, system database will check what is the password that we created while creating the Gmail user ID. Okay, the password that we given to the system, same password will be. Sorry, I got one call. Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
So it will check the database, what is the password that is maintained and what is the password that you are entering. Similarly, here when we are validating, we will check the prerequisites and what is the condition that we wrote. If the condition is fulfilled, okay, then it will allow. If the condition is not fulfilled, for example, if the condition is failed, then what happens, it will throw an error. Okay, just like if the database password matches, then the system will allow to enter you into the Gmail. If the database password and the password that you are entering are not matching, then it will throw an error. Similarly, it verifies the data meets specific criteria before it's posted to the database, preventing invalid or incorrect information from being stored. So our agenda is to maintain the project structure in a uniform way. Like, for example, in the level 1 WBS, you created the one which I shown in the earlier session. But maybe in the level 2, the WBS element structure, the root WBS element structure in the level 2, you are trying to create a different one, then the system should not allow, for example. Or even at the level one also, it must be same as the project definition. I should not change the WBS element first 14 characters or whatever the length that is there, that it should not allow to change. That should remain the same as the project definition. That is one example that I am telling. So like that, we can write many validations. Okay. So for example, here, how many characters at the project definition level? 4, 8, 12 plus 2 separators. Okay, 14. Total length is 14. Okay. Now, if you see, the first 14 characters are same in all the WBS elements that we created. For example, if the user try to enter, okay, if the user try to enter instead of 0001, 0002, then the system should not allow, right? The system should not allow if the user is trying to create 0002, for example, because my project definition is 0001, right? That means my project structure should remain same as the project definition. The lower level WBS elements, whatever I create, first 14 characters of project definition should remain the same. That is one example. And also the first four characters should be INDH if my project profile is INDH, for example. And also, we created one profit center for this project definition. That project definition profit center and the WBS element profit center must remain the same. If the user trying to enter a different profit center, then system should throw an error and it should instruct that the profit center relevant for this project profile must be 4 all zeros, 2 or 3, whatever that we create. Like that, we can create many validations. These are some of the validations that I took from one of the sources. Okay. So now, for example, to allow specific project codes for specific project profiles, that means I have, in the last video, I have shown independent houses, villas, something like that. Different project profiles we can create for each of the profit centers that we have. Okay, so that we can, individual users from that relevant division, they will be able to create their own projects, and we will not allow other division team people to create some other divisions projects. So that is our key agenda, to have different project profiles and project coding mask, and to have a better reporting. Okay, that is the purpose, and so that the authorizations and roles can be segregated very easily, that is on the lower side. On the higher side, actually, for the reporting purpose, to report the revenue or the profit and loss, okay, for that division in a financial year, it will be very convenient if we create a different project structure for profit center wise. Okay. So, like for example, in our example, this is the table. Whatever I am referring, the first four letters. This is PROJ is the table where the project is stored once you save the project in CJ20N, and the field for that is PSPID. Okay, let me show that to you. For example, I will show that now in the system. I will show that. Okay, let me show that. Like for example, this is the project definition. Now, where this is available? This is available in the database level, the database level SC11. I will use the SC11. You can use SC16 and also. The table is PROJ. Okay. The table is PROJ. Go to these contents. Now, for example, I have only very few projects. So I am checking how many entries, only 7, for example. Now I'm just entering, I don't know the project definition. For example, if you see here, this is the project definition that we created, right? So it is available in the database level. What is the field? PSPID. What is the field? PSPID. And this is PSPNR. This is the internal number that stores for each of the project. Okay. So here the project ID that starts with YJ, something like that, it is there. But internally, system will allocate its own number. This is PSPNR. Okay. Whereas this is the one which user created, right? This is the one which we created, whereas the system is assigning its own internal number, right? What is the purpose of that? That I will explain. This is the description that I entered, for example. POST1 is the field where we will get the project description, right? And this is the internal number, object number. This is one of the object numbers that links with the some other tables, okay? Okay, these are the two fields that links with some other tables. Where those are integrated, I will let you know. Okay.
Okay.
And this is the user who created. This is the my user ID. This is my user ID through which this project has been created. Through which this project has been created. Okay. And the date on which it is created is actually, it is showing 0308. Like this, we have several fields. What we are using is only PSPID. Okay. So let me go back now. So this is the PSPAD like INDH. So in the table level, if you see INDH is the project definition, first four letters, that is nothing but project ID. ID, that length 4 letters is nothing but project ID. In the coding mask we define, okay. So the project profile, relevant project profile that the user has to select is INDH only. System checks if the project code starts with INDH, then the user should select only INDH. For example, if the user is trying to select some other project profile, let us say SAP, I have SAP customer project. If the user is trying to select, as of now, even if the user selects SACP also, it will allow, because I am not writing, I am not having any validation, right? If I write the validation so that the user can select only INDH, and I should not allow other project profiles for creating such projects with INDH. That is, for independent house projects, only user should select independent house project profile. Other project profiles I should not allow, or I have to disallow other project profiles. That is our first validation that we are going to see. Next thing is to check first level WBS code is same as project code. Okay, this I explained in the initial video. So at level 1, always the project definition and root WBS must be same. For that, I have similar field similar to PSPID in the project definition in the WBS element table also. So the table for project definition is different. The table for WBS elements is different. The entire WBS elements are stored in PRPS. The entire project definitions that we created are stored in PROJ. So these two tables you need to remember if you want to write the validations or substitutions. Okay. So the table for WBS elements is PRPS, and for the relevant field for the WBS element is POSID, and the relevant field for project definition is PSPAD. These two things you should remember, right? So now for the level, the field is actually, the level starts from the WBS element only, not at the project definition level. There is no level identification for project definition because it is the parent. There is no level identification. Whereas for the WBS element, we have different levels, 1, 2, that we created in our structure. So at level 1, if we want to apply the validation, then we have to use STUFE is the, this is the technical field where we have to apply 1 as level 1 for validating at the level 1, and then we should check the PRPS of POSID equal to PROJ of PSPAD. That means the project definition must be, that is WBS element at level 1 must be same as the project definition. This is what it says technically. System checks first level WBS element and project definition number are same or not. So this is our one way of writing. There is another way of writing also, that also we will see. Okay, to check project code and WBS element code are same. Okay, so if the project profile is this, like the first 14 characters must be equal to PRPS of POSID of 1 to 14 must be equal to PROJ of POSID. This is another way of writing. Okay, this is same only, but this is another way of writing that level 1, for example. Level 1 or through the entire project structure. If you want to validate the PRPS of 1 to 14, like for example, let me go back to the next slide, previous slide. For example, if you see, this is what we discussed. 1 to 14 is same in all the WBS elements. Okay. So user should create 1 to 14 at any level. Level 1, I am just validating whether the level 1 is same as the project definition or not. Next, when it comes to level 2, so that validation will work only at level 1. Next, when it comes to level 2, my first 14 characters, again it should remain the same as my root WBS element. So for that, what I have to write, my 1 to 14 must be same as either root WBS element, or it can be same as the project definition. The easiest and convenient method is same as project definition. So I have to write same as project definition, because my project definition will remain the same once I create and save. Okay, so that is the reason I am validating here PRPS of 1 to 14 equal to what? It must be equal to PROJ of PSPAD, right? Or I can also write PROJ of PSPAD of 1 to 14, right?
Yeah.
So it is same. Either I can give the length from where to start and where to end, okay, and or I can also give directly from the table and field reference, because it is 14 only. Either I give 1 to 14 or not. In the case of PROJ PSPAD, it will remain the same. I can directly refer PROJ of PSPAD here. That is the reason I wrote here. Or else, if you want to write, you can also write PROJ of PSPAD of 1 to 14 also. But as we don't have any different project structure for that particular project structure where we are checking, we can directly apply the PROJ of PSPAD. Okay, to check specific characters in the WBS code. For example, I want to check the first 4 characters of WBS element as INDH only. Okay, so if I am selecting this project profile, the first 1 to 4 characters must and should be INDH only. For example, if the user is trying to enter ITDH, for example, ITDH, system should not allow. Okay,
Yeah.
system should not allow. That is our another validation. To allow certain user, no, this is not correct. So this is for allowing certain profit center only. System allows, this is not the user. This is for allowing the profit center. For example, if I select this project profile, then I should allow only this profit center. That is our, because my division of responsibility for this profit center is different. And so whenever I selected this project profile, that means system should understand that I am trying to create some independent house project definition, and for that I should select only this profit center, not any other profit center. That is our actually restriction that we need to add, or the validation that we need to add. Okay, we can also add for the user also. Okay, if we have dedicated user for this division, to make a project type mandatory for a particular project profile and for first level WBS element. For example, if my project profile is this and level is this, my profit center must not be blank, or my project type must be INDH, for example. That project type must be INDH. We have different project types, right? So I can select in the independent house also, if I have some segregations like G+3, G+4, or something like that. Any segregations that we get in the independent houses that they are constructing, those can be created as a project type, so that, for example, in the independent house section, G+3, how many total buildings or how many total projects that I carried out, I can get that report. That is the way. So while constructing G+3, for example, user should select, or we need to allow only that particular project type. Let us say in the independent house sector, I have 4 different project types. So only out of those 4 project types only they must be able to select. Other project types we should not allow. Okay, and we should not allow blank also. So here in this case, it must not be blank actually. So like this, we will write we will write in our next session different validations. All these validations will be covered in the next session. Whatever validations that I discussed now here, all those validations we will discuss, we will see in the system practically one by one. Okay, how to create, and we will validate, we will
Yeah.
simulate those things. Okay, that
Yeah.
is our agenda in the next session. Okay.
Okay.
So
I have some questions. I mean,
yeah,
for
you
this
can ask.
WBS,
Hmm.
how many, I mean, level one, as you said, it will be similar to that root WBS, whatever we create with the project definition.
Yes.
Uh, and level two, how many WBS we can create?
See, for example, in the if you see in the level one, we are restricting same as project definition. So no
Right.
more WBS elements. We will be able to create the root level, because I am restricting this at the configuration level.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If I have in the configuration level, there is one configuration where in the project profile we will do only one root. Okay. So that
Okay.
the system will allow only one root for the total entire project. Okay. So at level one, only one. If
Mm.
you take at the level two, so how many are there in the level two? And in the coding mask, what we given is numeric, right?
Right.
So in the numeric, I gave what I gave 0 0 I gave in the level two. So 0 0 means up to how much it will go? It will go to 99, right?
Oh, okay. Yep.
2-digit number, right?
Mm.
If I give XX, this thing I explained in the previous also. If I give XX, that means it can accept either alphabet or numeric.
Okay.
But in the coding mask, I give 0 0 because I want to enter only the numeric ones.
Mm.
Okay. So 99 up to 99. If it is 3-digit number, it will go up to 999.
Okay.
That is how.
So, I mean, people create this level two, level three, and all to record profit, cost, like that, different segment of the finance part. To record that only they create different levels, right?
Now see, it is based on the project requirement. Like for example, when we create the root WBS element, we are taking it as a billing element. That means the billing will be done at the project level, that is root WBS level,
Okay.
not at individual WBS levels. For example, if you want to do the billing at individual WBS elements also, that is possible if you tick the billing element for
Billing.
that
Okay.
individual WBS element. That means in the
Mm.
sale order, we have to assign that particular WBS element which is ticked as a billing element. Like for example, if you want to bill separately for the design drawings, you need to tick this as a billing element and you can enter the WBS element. But generally, when we take the root WBS element as a billing element, so that we will be able to do the result analysis at this level, we will be able to capture the cost, everything. That means the cost that is incurred from lower level to the top level till design drawings completion till to the root level will be accumulated at this level, and we will be able to do the revenue billing or billing at this level, so that the cost and revenue will be accumulated at this level, and we will be able to run the result analysis.
Got
Okay,
it.
mostly we will do when we are using root WBS element, we will use the root WBS element only for settlement and result analysis and billing purposes.
Okay.
If you have a different project requirement, like I must have different line items in the sale order, different line items in the sale order, in the sense not directly at the project level. Let us say I want to record my billing at the design drawings, let us say structure, kitchen, bathroom, then all those must be as a billing elements.
Hmm.
Then the result analysis you need to run at a different WBS elements.
Right.
So like that, it depends on the way we generally prefer. But mostly we will use the root WBS element only for the billing purposes. Okay. So that the revenue and the cost will be accumulated at that level, and the P&L will be shown in the reports also, like what is the cost, total accumulated cost, and the total accumulated revenues that were recorded. Okay. For the
So,
project.
are you saying that, I mean, if I have to do the billing at each for each of this structure, right? For
Hmm.
design, I will do a billing, or structure, I will do a billing, kitchen, I will do a billing. Then then I should have created this WBS in such a way that my design drawing is level 2, structure is level 3, kitchen is level 4. Like that, I need to create the WBS then.
Yeah, like in this case, see, I want to bill at the root level. So this is
Hmm.
my billing element for which all these WBS elements I can record the cost, and whereas the
Right.
billing will be done at root WBS only.
Right.
Like for example, I will take assume that in the electrical I have different electricals, like first floor electric, second floor electrical, third floor electric. For example, I am telling
Hmm.
3 plus 3 we assumed, right?
Hmm.
Now I want to record the milestones, sub milestones of this electrical drawing, and I want
Hmm.
to bill for this electrical portion separately.
Hmm.
How that can be achieved? I want to take this electrical WBS element as a billing element, and
Hmm.
under that, as you said, you can create different level 3 WBS elements. Okay, for which you can record electrical cost for ground floor, first floor, second floor, and third floor,
Got it.
and total thing will accumulate at the electrical, and you
Which is
can,
at level 2.
yes, which is at level 2.
Hmm. Okay.
That means any cost that is recorded at the child level will roll up to the parent level.
Yeah.
Similarly, here also from level 2 to level 1, it will roll up.
Yeah. Even we have in our office, I mean, in our company, like, we have this WBS created at level 2, level 3.
Hmm.
But I'm telling you, I still didn't understand the logic behind it. Now when you're explaining, I'm able to relate that
Yeah,
with
yeah.
that logic. Yeah.
So you people are doing billing at level 1 or a different WBS elements?
Different WBS elements, in fact. The
Okay.
billing
So,
will be done at each level. In fact, they are doing billing at level 2, they are doing billing at level 3, like that they are doing it.
okay.
Hmm.
Okay. But how you people are using the result analysis and settlement these things?
For each level, we will be running the result analysis. Like, for example, here, if you take this as an example, right?
Yes.
For INDH 2507000101, for that, we will run result analysis. For
Hmm.
02, we will run result analysis. So 01, we would have assigned a periodic RA key.
Hmm.
For 02, we would have assigned a POC, percentage of completion.
Hmm.
03, we would have assigned some other TNM.
Hmm.
Like that, we will assign, and we will run those RA keys.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Okay. So whereas in our case, actually, in most of the clients that I am using, only root WBS level single RE key, and
Hmm.
we will run the result analysis for the entire project at the root level only, and
Okay.
it will take all the total accumulated cost, and if there is any revenue recognized, then the revenue also calculated according to that. It will actually calculate the calculated revenue, and it will see the difference, and whether it is a contracted asset to be posted or not. Based on the settlement, it will generate the accounting entries. That is how we are doing actually.
Okay. Okay.
It depends.
And you mentioned about assigning the profit center. Even the cost center also needs to be assigned for WBS creation, right?
No, no, not required, not mandatory. It is not
Okay.
mandatory to assign the cost center. That is a different concept. If you want to settle some portion of the cost, like to the cost center, okay, if you have any internal cost, then that is a different method actually. If you have some OPEX project, something like that,
Hmm.
but it is not required. Mostly we will settle from parent, sorry, child to the parent WBS element, and settlement will takes place. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is what we can see these validations in tomorrow class. Once
Sure.
all the people will attend in the tomorrow class, then we will see this.
Yeah. And
Okay.
tomorrow same time, right?
Same time, same time.
Okay.
Maybe if I think hopefully tomorrow everyone will join, then we will extend a little bit so that we can complete all these 6 validations. It will take some time, around 1 hour it will take. So we will complete all those things maybe by extending another half an hour like that. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sivaram. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.